John, have you ever started a sentence feeling totally confident and then suddenly stopped halfway through thinking, wait, is this actually right?
Haha, oh, absolutely. So many times, especially when two grammar structures look almost identical, your brain just kind of freezes for a second, right?
Exactly, and that frozen moment is so relatable. Today we are talking about one of those pairs that confuses so many learners, have done and have been doing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native English Podcast, the English podcast where we help you speak English clearly, confidently, and naturally in real life. I'm John.
And I'm Sarah. We are so happy you joined us today. And before we dive in, a quick reminder. If this podcast is helping your English improve, please follow the show and share it with one friend who is also on their English learning journey. When you learn with someone else, progress happens faster, and honestly, it becomes a lot more fun too.
You know, when I first came across these two structures, I genuinely thought they were basically the same thing. I just used them randomly and hoped nobody would notice.
Haha, same here, honestly. I just picked whichever one sounded okay and moved on. But once you truly understand the real difference between them, everything shifts. You stop second-guessing yourself and start speaking with real confidence.
So today we are going to break this down in a very simple and natural way. No stress, no complicated grammar rules, just real understanding that you can actually use.
By the end of this episode, you will understand when to use have done, when to use have been doing, and most importantly, you will feel the difference rather than just memorizing it. And that feeling is what makes all the difference in natural conversation.
Right, because memorizing rules only takes you so far. Feeling the language is what makes you fluent. So let's start with the first structure, have done.
This one is actually very common. You have probably heard it many times already without even realizing it.
Yes, and the main idea is honestly pretty clear once someone points it out. When you say have done, you are focusing on the result. The action is finished. It is complete, done.
For example, I have finished my work. That means the work is over. No more work waiting. The result is what you are communicating.
Or she has cleaned the room. Again, what matters here is the result. The room is clean right now. When you use this structure, you're not really talking about how long it took or what the process was like. You're simply saying it is done.
Let's make it really simple with a quick situation. Imagine you had homework. Now it is finished. What do you say?
I have done my homework.
Exactly. Wow, that sentence just feels complete, doesn't it? There's nothing more to add, nothing more to explain.
And that's the key feeling here. Have done gives a sense of completion. It's like mentally closing a task and moving on.
Let's make it even more real with a small natural conversation. Hey John, have you finished your report?
Yes, I have done it.
Perfect. Short, clear, and completely natural. That's exactly how it sounds in real life. Now let's move on to the second structure, have been doing. This one is a little longer sounding, but the idea is just as simple, I promise.
Yes, and this is where the focus completely changes. Instead of focusing on the result, we now focus on the action itself and the time involved.
In other words, something started in the past and is still continuing, or maybe it just stopped very recently. The activity is what you want the other person to feel.
For example, I have been studying for 2 hours. That tells us you started studying earlier and you're still doing it right now, or you literally just stopped.
Or, she has been working all day. You can really feel the effort in that sentence, can't you? It's not just about finishing work, it's about the time and the energy behind it.
Exactly. This structure shows duration. It shows the process. It lets the listener feel the journey, not just the destination.
So, imagine you started learning English 2 hours ago and you're still going right now. What would you say?
I have been studying for 2 hours.
And notice how different that feels compared to I have studied English.
Wow, yes, very different. I have studied English sounds more general. Maybe you studied at some point in your life somewhere. But I have been studying English. That sounds active, recent, ongoing. You can feel the energy in it.
Let's compare them side by side so the difference really clicks. I have read that book.
That means the action is complete. You finished the book at some point.
Now listen to this one. I have been reading it.
the feeling completely changes. It sounds like you're still in the middle of reading, or you have been reading it over a period of recent time.
Exactly. So the difference is not just grammar on paper, it's about how you want to express the situation. What do you want the other person to understand and feel?
Let's make it more real. Imagine your friend asks, "Have you read that book?"
If you say, yes, I have read it, that means finished, clear and simple.
But if you say, "I have been reading it," that means not finished yet, or maybe you just put it down a few minutes ago.
Let's look at one more example. I have cleaned the room. That tells us the room is clean right now. Result delivered.
Now, listen carefully. I have been cleaning the room.
This one sounds like the process. Maybe you're still in the middle of cleaning, or maybe you just finished and you're exhausted. Haha.
Yes, it often carries that effort feeling, that tiredness, that sense of I've been busy doing something real.
And this is actually very important because sometimes have been doing is used specifically to explain a present situation or feeling.
Right. For example, why are you tired? I've been working all day. That sentence explains your current feeling of tiredness by pointing to the activity behind it.
So here we see something deeper. Have done shows the result directly. Have been doing shows the cause or the activity behind the result. That's a really powerful way to understand it.
Okay, Sarah, let's play a quick game. You give me a situation and I'll choose the most natural sentence.
Haha, I love this. Okay, ready? You just finished your homework.
I have done my homework.
Good. Now, you started your homework 2 hours ago and you're still working on it.
I have been doing my homework.
Perfect. Now here's a slightly tricky one. Your hands are messy and dirty. Someone asks, what happened?
I have been working in the garden.
Exactly, because we care about the activity that caused the messy hands, not just the result. Now I have one for you. Your manager asks, is the report ready?
I have done the report.
Yes, not I have been doing, because your manager cares about the result. The job is complete. This is such an important point. Always think, what does this situation actually need, the result or the process?
And once you train your brain to ask that one quick question, choosing the right form becomes so much easier, almost automatic.
Now let's talk about some very common mistakes that learners often make. The first one, people sometimes say, I have been finished my work.
Yes, that one is incorrect. Finished is already a completed state. You cannot combine it with have been doing. The correct options are I have finished my work or I have been working.
Another very common mistake is mixing up time expressions. For example, I have done my homework for 2 hours.
That sounds off, right? Because for 2 hours shows duration, and duration belongs with have been doing. The correct sentence is, I have been doing my homework for 2 hours.
This is actually a very useful rule to remember. If you see time expressions like for 2 hours, since morning, or all day, you will almost always need have been doing.
Let's practice now with some real-life situations, because that is where it all comes together. Imagine you meet a friend. Hey, what have you been doing lately?
I have been learning English more seriously these days. I practice every morning before work, actually.
Wow, that is great. Have you completed any course?
Yes, I have done one full course already. It was really helpful.
Very natural. That is exactly how real conversations flow. You're not forcing anything. Both forms just come out naturally depending on what you want to say.
Now let's try a slightly more emotional situation. Imagine someone looks stressed and tired. Hey, are you okay?
Not really. I have been dealing with a lot of pressure lately. Work has been really demanding.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have you solved the main problem at least?
Yes, I have done the most important part, but I really need some rest now. Maybe a long weekend.
Don't we all? But notice what happened there. Have been dealing showed the ongoing pressure and stress, and have done showed what was completed. Both forms working together naturally in one short conversation.
Now let's do a fun situation. Your friend comes home with muddy clothes and messy hair.
What happened to you?
I've been playing football with some friends down at the park. It got intense.
That explains everything. Did your team win?
Yes, we've won. We've done a really great job today, honestly.
Nice! You used both forms without even thinking about it. That is the goal.
Now let's move to something really important, longer speaking, because many learners can make one sentence, but they struggle when they need to speak for 20 or 30 seconds without stopping.
Yes, this is so common. So let's build a longer answer together. Imagine someone asks you, "What have you been doing these days?"
You could say something like, I've been focusing on improving my English lately. I've been practicing speaking every single day and watching videos in English to train my ear. Recently, I have also been trying to think directly in English instead of translating from my first language. It takes effort, but I've learned so much, and I genuinely feel more confident now. I've also done a few online lessons, which really helped me understand some grammar points better.
Wow, that answer is beautiful. Natural, smooth, and balanced. It moves from ongoing activities into completed results without any awkward jumps. That is fluency.
Now let's try one more. What have you done today?
I have done my morning workout. I have finished all my office tasks, and I have also completed a small personal project I have been putting off. It has honestly been a very productive day, and I feel great about it.
Perfect. That answer is all about completed actions. Each sentence gives a clear result. Nothing vague, nothing confusing.
Before we go further, if you're still here listening, that tells us something. You're serious about improving your English, and we really love having serious learners in our community. Now let's try combining both forms in one flowing answer.
You can say something like, I've been working on an important project for the past few days. It has taken a lot of time and real effort. There were moments when I honestly was not sure I could finish it, but today I have finally done it. I feel really satisfied and a little proud, honestly.
That sounds so natural and confident. I actually felt something listening to that. The have been working carries the struggle and effort, and then have done carries the relief and completion.
Exactly. Emotion comes through when you choose the right form. That is the real power of grammar, not just being correct, but being expressive.
Now, let's talk about one last thing that is really important, how to think quickly while speaking, because in real conversations with real people, you simply do not have time to pause and mentally review grammar rules.
So here's a very simple way to decide quickly. Ask yourself just one question. Am I talking about the result or the activity?
If your focus is on the result, use have done. If your focus is on the activity or the time, use have been doing. That is honestly all you need to remember.
Let's test it one final time. Why do you look exhausted?
I have been working all day.
Have you finished everything?
Yes, I have done it all.
Simple, clear, natural. No stopping, no overthinking.
And remember, these small choices and how you express things are what separate okay English from truly natural English. Native speakers make these choices without thinking, and with enough practice, you will too.
Let's quickly run through the key points before we finish. Have done. We use it for completed actions, where the result is what matters.
Have been doing, we use for ongoing or very recent activities, where the process or duration matters.
Have done focuses on the result.
Have been doing focuses on the effort, the process, and the time involved.
And in real conversations, we very naturally use both together.
Exactly. That combination is what makes your English sound truly fluent and natural rather than textbook.
Now it's your turn. Try making your own sentences using both forms. Start simple if you need to. I've been learning. I've done it. Say them out loud. That part really matters.
And please do not be afraid to speak. Confidence comes from practice, not from waiting until everything is perfect. I really believe that.
If this episode touched your heart, go ahead and like it and share it with someone, and subscribe to Native English Stories for learning real English.
And don't forget the comments. We have a tiny favor to ask you all.
Oh, great reminder, John. We've actually left a special pinned comment just for you.
Once you're done watching, please hop over to that comment and share your thoughts.
Yes, please. We'd love to know which specific words or topics you're excited to learn next.
We genuinely read every single comment of yours.
Keep practicing, keep improving, and most importantly, keep speaking English.
We will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye, everyone.